Hey guys, so it is Friday the 27th of February and it is just after 2 o'clock, 12 minutes past 2, and I'm sitting here in the camper. I had a wonderful raw walk this morning and I'll tell you about it in a while. And came back, had my shower, had some food, and now I'm going to do my weekly update. So I have a really nice week. I stayed in the campsite, Paradise campsite, up from Nerja, or beside Torrox. I stayed here for the week. I'm staying here until Monday, and I leave Monday. So I've got 2 more days here, and I've had a really sort of interesting week. I walked on Monday. I'm just looking at my thing here. On Monday, I didn't walk. On Saturday and Sunday I walked. On Monday I did yoga, and on Tuesday and Wednesday I walked. On Thursday I played tennis, and today I walked. So I've had a nice week, and why don't I just jump in and give you the snippets from the week, and then I will wrap up today's walk and the week. Hey guys, I want to show you where I'm sitting. Look at this. I've literally parked on the beach. Not close to the beach, on the beach. So you can see where I am here. I'm down at Torrox, and I had an interesting walk this morning. So last night I was camped up where I originally camped the first time I came to this area, just outside of Nerja. But I moved positions, and I moved down to a spot beside a restaurant, basically a car park, that's right on the beach, a beach restaurant, beach bar. And I parked up there and I had a great night's sleep. It was lovely. And then this morning I drove up to, you can see this place here. It's beside a place called Comtepa or something like that I was in before, that I hiked in before. But I thought, in fact, when I was going up, I said, oh my God, don't tell me I'm going to do the same hike. But it wasn't, it was a new hike. And so I parked up there in a little parking area and did the hike. The hike was lovely. It was not the most exciting hike I've ever done, except the end, I'll tell you that at the moment. The surface was pretty much hardcore roads the whole way. There were a few pathy bits, but pretty much hardcore road. And the ascent, I think it was about 500 meters, but apart from a piece at the very end, you wouldn't feel it at all, because it was all sort of up and down and up and down. So it was a very, very easy walk. And when I came to the end of it, though, it became somewhat challenging, because I came to a stream which had beautiful glacial water, freezing cold water. You know, that sort of a whitey, greeny colour to the water when you know it's absolutely crystal clear. That sort of, if that's not a contradiction in terms, but I had to take my shoes and socks off and wade up to my thighs actually in it, and a little bit scary actually. I was surprised, because I was walking on rocks about that big, say, and they're all rounded, so obviously the water's come down there a few times, and but the current was incredibly strong, and I used the 2 poles to hold myself there. Whoa, I'm afraid I'm going to fall over. But I made it across, and then the path was washed away entirely. So I sort of do a bit of a scramble to find my way eventually back up to the path and walk back. The last little climb into where I started, the circular route, the last climb was quite tough actually, because I was coming to the end of the walk and I was in the sunshine. Most of the walk had been in the shade. It's interesting, I was wearing this t-shirt like this and these 2 tops, and I needed them for the vast majority of the walk, because once you're up in the mountains there and you're in the shade, it's cool. Interestingly, on the way down to here, when I was coming across from Valencia, on my second leg coming across from Valencia, I could look up on the right hand side and all the mountains were covered in snow. I had originally planned to go up to the mountains on the way over and hike up there, but I saw like minus whatever every night, and getting up to 6-8 degrees during the day. I said no thank you, I'd rather be down here in the sun. But anyway, today's walk was lovely. Got back to the camper, had a shower, and drove down to here parked up, and I just had lunch. I'm meeting a friend, Lawrence, that I mentioned before. I'm meeting him this afternoon with his girlfriend over in a place called O'Leary's. I couldn't make it up. O'Leary's Bar and Restaurant. And apparently they've got Irish music, or they've got something on this afternoon at 3 o'clock for a couple of hours. So it's just a kilometre up the road. I said I'd meet him there. We'd go and have a beer or a glass of wine, whatever. So that's it. That's today's update. All is good. 500 metres, 12 and a half kilometres, I think. 2 hours, 21 minutes, roughly. That was what I did. And I enjoyed it. It was lovely. And I'm reading the paper now, chilling, go meet Lawrence, have a couple of beers, and find somewhere to park up for the night. Hey guys, it is Sunday morning, well, Sunday afternoon actually, 12:04. So just made into the afternoon. And you can see out there, another beautiful, beautiful day. And I'm parked right up here on the beach. And just right beside the campsite, in fact, that I'm going to check into tomorrow. So I went out this morning, slept okay, and didn't get up until about 8 o'clock actually, 7:30, 8 o'clock. So I went out about 9 for my hike, or 8:30 I think, maybe 9 o'clock for my hike. And I decided just to go out the coast, walk along the beach. So I did just under 20k in about 2 3/4 hours. And the majority of that, so I went out 10k, walked out 10k and ran back. And the walk out I did on the beach, and the run back I did on the coastal path, whatever you want to call it, basically paved. And it was lovely, but really, really hot. I mean, really hot. I'm sitting here and I was waiting for the water to heat up from my shower, and yeah, it was a scorcher. I had to stop at 17.5 or 18.5k, plus 1k away from home. I had to stop under a tree for a minute and just stand in the shade. So I don't know what temperature is going to be today. It's going to be the low to mid 20s. It's interesting. I said before, the app keeps saying this like 16, 18 degrees or 20 degrees, and it feels so much hotter. And I wonder if it's just that there's no wind and no cloud. We're here and it's all very what's the word I'm looking for, just very Spain. Hey guys, it is Tuesday midday, and I'm in this beautiful town called Frigiliana. I've been here before. It's a spectacular town in two parts, cut into the side of a hill. But I came here this morning. I drove off from my campsite and came this morning to do a hike. But before that, yesterday was Monday, I didn't have any hike yesterday. Instead, I had 90 minutes of yoga. And after today's walk, I'm sort of glad I did. I needed a stretch. So Lawrence, the Irish guy that I know down here, he said, "Do you want to go to yoga?" And I said, "Sure, why not? And think for a change." So the 90 minutes of yoga was sort of wonderful, and went and had a cup of tea with Lawrence on the promenade overlooking the sea. Beautiful. Then I did shopping and checked into the campsite, and did a laundry, cleaned out the van, did all the necessary things that you have to do with the van, stocked up with water, all that kind of good stuff. And then I sort of just read for the afternoon and got a good night's sleep. So I did a nice call with Niall last night, and I heard his news, and I hope everybody's well. And that was sort of it. So this morning I got up at 7 and I hopped in the van. I didn't want to leave too early, so I waited about 7:30. And I left at 7:30, drove up to here. It was only half an hour up. I was here at 8 o'clock, parked up here, and you can see where I'm parked. Beautiful spot, beautiful view, and headed off for my hike. Now the hike was sort of interesting. I didn't follow the exact hike, the All Trails hike. I followed it for the first half. The second half I sort of did my own thing. So it was, I think, about 700 meters. and something between 11.5 and 12 kilometers, I think, in total. So it was a very steep climb, like a seriously steep climb, but an okay climb. There were only one or two dodgy spots. The vast majority of it was just fine. It was an ordinary hike. It's a difficult hike. I mean, 750 or 800 meters is a serious climb, and then of course you got the 780 meters to come down again. But it was lovely. A really, really nice hike. You can see here some of the views over the mountains and the valleys and the town. Absolutely spectacular views, and wonderful spot. Really pleased with the hike. And so I did it in about 3 hours. I did it in maybe a little under 3 hours, and and I needed it all. The way I came down, so when I got to the top of the mountain, I decided I didn't want to go and retrace my steps. I'm not a great fan of that, actually. So I said I'd go down the other side of the mountain. I saw a trail there on the app, and all trails you can follow it, but I could see there was a trail there. And I started down it, and there were blue dots every now and again to sort of reassure you on the trail. So I followed the trail down, and it was a bit dodgy, a lot of loose gravel and stuff, but it was okay. I got down, but then I had to walk back in about 4 kilometers back in by a concrete road, a dirt track first, sort of a unpaved road first, then a concrete road, but a little mountain road, and then about 3 kilometers on a regular road. But it was okay. I was tired after the climb. I was happy to have the easy walk back in. So that's sort of it. That's the update up to Tuesday. I'm planning to stay the week, as you know, in the area, and hike in the area and stay in the campsite. And the campsite is lovely. Everybody's super friendly, really, really nice at that. But I'm right beside a cliff, so at 5 o'clock the sun's gone, and it's really in the evening you want to sit down and have your glass of wine and sit in the sun, but you can't have everything. So I'm going to go back now and taking my laundry, which hopefully will be nice and dry. I have it all hanging out, and have some I'm actually meeting Lawrence. He's bringing me over to, well, I'm going over in my van, going over to Marrow. I was in it there the other day, and it's an absolutely beautiful town. But he said there's a fountain there, sort of a spring coming out of the mountain, and the water, that's where he goes to get his water. So he's going to show me where it is, and I'm going to drain my, if I'm able to fill it from that with my hose, I'll drain my tank and I'll fill it with this beautiful spring water. And then I'm going to go and have some tapas in Marrow, and then come back and chill for the evening. So that's sort of the plan. No big plan for the rest of the week. I have to make it up as I go along, but having a great time. All is good. Hey guys, it is Wednesday the 25th, I think. Yeah, the 25th of February, and it is coming up just after 1:45, coming up to 10 to 1. And I'm back in the campsite, the same campsite that I'm in, this paradise camping, or camping paradise, or whatever they call it. And just back for my walk. Last night we had a lovely evening. Flo and her mother Catherine from Derry were leaving today, and I missed them unfortunately this morning. They left around 11. I was still out hiking, but we had a party for them. Well, there was a party last night on the campsite, and I was invited along. So lots of wine and crisps and such like things, and a dip in the sea at about 8 or 9 o'clock, and it was chilly, I can tell you, but we had a lovely evening. It was really nice, and slept well enough, and got up this morning and hung around. Didn't go too early. Left here on 9 o'clock and went up to the same area I hiked in the last time yesterday, and I've hiked in before, past that town called Frigiliana. Past that, and in fact I didn't realise that it took me past there and then took me up a road. I said, this road's familiar, and it took me down to that hidden village that I walked past before in a previous walk, and parked up there. The road, the dirt track down to it was like appalling, but anyway, drove down there, parked up, and did the hike. And the hike was very short, about 7k, and about 350 meters or 360 meters, something of ascent. And I did the steep side first. I went up the steep side and came down the easy side, and it was a lovely walk. It was an easy walk, not much climbing, yeah, it was just easy. There was nothing dodgy about it at all. The path was a mixture of just dirt path, gravelly, stony, loosey gravelly, stony type of path, and a forest trail, not like that we would say forest trail, a trail for the forestry, so a hardcore type of road. One last bit was sort of interesting, walking through a riverbed. So the path actually followed a riverbed, so I imagine in winter it's impassable. But it was a lovely walk. The spring is here, of course, and there's a lot of rain, so everything is sort of beginning to bloom. You have the ubiquitous rosemary, of course, and but lots of other things budding and lots of new greenery and stuff shooting up. So it was lovely, actually. I wanted an easy walk today because I had a hard walk yesterday, and I thought I'd just get out today but not overdo it, take it easy. So today is Wednesday. I'm not going to walk tomorrow because I'm playing tennis tomorrow afternoon for a few hours with Lawrence, and so I've no walk tomorrow, I think. And then Friday I go back out again, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I'll be heading off on Monday. Not sure where yet, but probably continuing along the coast. The weather here remains lovely. A bit overcast today, but in general the weather's lovely. 20, 21, 22, 23 degrees every day. I mean, it's perfect hiking weather. So that's it. That's my update for Wednesday. Talk to you soon. So there you have it. That was the week up until Wednesday. Yesterday I didn't walk. Yesterday I played tennis, and I was resoundingly beaten 6-4. We only played one set, but it was lovely. And really yesterday I just sort of bummed around, cleaned out the van again, did all the usual things that you have to do, and played the game of tennis, did a lot of reading. So really just sort of a chill day. Today's walk was spectacular. I did, let me get this right, so I did 3 hours and 4 minutes. I did 10.7 kilometers and 691 meters of ascent and descent. And it was, I think, probably the nicest walk I've done. It was the Rio Chillar walk, and it started off north of the very top, if you wish, of Nerja, or Nerja, whatever you call this town. I can never get the pronunciation right. Just north of that, and straight away you have this very, very steep climb, right up, very, very steep, but a good solid trail, easily visible, not too rough, lots of rock, but solid rock that you could easily walk on, or dirt trails. Absolutely beautiful. And then once you got up into the mountains, it just went a big long trail over rocks, over peaks, spectacular views. And then on the way down, it was a little bit dodgy on the way down, in that there was some loose rock and gravel, you know that kind of slidey clay and rock, whatever, and very easy to slip on it. But apart from that, the descent was fine. And the last stretch you come into a river, and I actually had to wear my flip-flops and walk through the river. So wait till I show you a few shots of these and you can tell me what you think. So that's it, guys. That's the week. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sure as I'll enjoy the hikes. Tomorrow is Saturday, so Saturday and Sunday I'm going to go. I have tennis tomorrow for an hour. I'll probably have a hike in the morning as well, or if the weather warms up a little bit cool today and a bit overcast, which was perfect for the hike, but not great for swimming or anything else. But if it warms up again a bit tomorrow or improves, I might go swimming and play the tennis, and then on Sunday have a hike. And Monday then I'm going to move on. As I say, I'm not quite sure exactly where yet. I'll plan that for the next couple of days. So there you go. Great talking. I hope you all enjoyed the videos, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye, guys.